salute to those who race, who ride in the crucible where success and failure scream by. Two contrasting sides, separated only by fractions, by a thin, brittle line. For a while, perhaps, victory and glory are companions. The world, it seems, belongs to you. But never think it is forever. One slip across the line and you are lost. Once a challenger, now no more than a follower.
Mark, you need to maintain the gap.
Once champions, now only supporting players. Those left in the chasing pack turn to bickering, clawing and scratching as they search for that elusive glory again.
Good job, man.
At times, there is also a glimpse through the window to the world outside, where good times and bad have far more meaning than mere sport can offer. Some have to leave the stage while others linger, held fast, thinking the triumph is still close at hand. It is a fine line between he who leads and those left behind in the spray.
Vettel's got weight.
Yeah,
he's got weight.
Button leads the Grand Prix.
What drives them all on? It is the thought of glory, which in the end can fall only to one man. So a salute to those who race, to those who win and lose, succeed and fail in the blink of an eye. And a salute to the champion, to the man who for now enjoys the favours and the spoils. But know that in the quickest of sports, success can be fleeting, and savour the glory while it lasts.
Well, hello there, my name is LoveSpuds. Welcome back to F1 2011 in career mode, and we are at the final round, Brazil, and that intro there taken directly from the BBC, a bit of stealing there going on, but I probably wouldn't have shown that at all if Vettel didn't win in the game. But I hope you enjoyed it. So, Webber edges out Spuds again. Same headlines as last time actually. And Williams' principal urges repeat, yeah. Pretty much exactly the same headlines as last time. Webber beating me and I'm coming second. But hey ho, we are in 4th in the constructors and 4th in the drivers. So looking good. Reputation has hit up another level. Level 10. Pretty good stuff. So here we are, Season 1, Race 19, the final race of the season. Let's go out on a high. So let's have a look at the laptop again. One email for the race information. So, for qualifying, they're expecting a 5th place start. For the race, they're expecting 2nd. So in practice, it's heavy rain, qualifying is light cloud, and race is heavy rain. So if Korea is anything to go by, we should have a pretty decent result. So let's dive into practice. Interlagos, yes, and it is pouring with rain. As I climb into the car, we're on our wet tyres, of course. 75% chance of rain, yep. So we're just going to do a quick setup to wet, and then we're going to drive out in a second. This was quite a dodgy practice session because it actually dried out towards the end, and you'll see where I end up because I don't quite capitalise on it. So coming out the pit lane, missing turns 1, 2 and 3, And joining out onto the Retta Aposta, which I believe is the name for the straight, down turn 4. Ooh, going off there, around turn 5. It's a bit wide there. Going around 6, slowing down slightly because it's wet and not quite gauging the dampness of the track yet. Going round turn 8, down to turn 9, the Pinheiro, or whatever it's called. I've got the names up here, I can't pronounce them at all. So here's turn 10, the Bico de Pato, or whatever you like to say. And turn 11, Mergullo, and then this is turn 12, Junkao, or Juntao, whatever, Junsao. Down turn 13, then 14, down here, past the pit straight entrance, Subdia de Boxes. Yeah, I won't be referring to them by their names at all. You can see, losing a lot of time in sector 2. This best practice lap was set in the wet, and as I say, it dried out close towards the end of the session, so they all immediately got faster. I made too many mistakes and didn't end up setting a decent time.
You might want to run a lower fuel mixture whilst we're in practice, save the quality of the race.
Yeah, they want me to run a lower fuel mixture. I'm just trying to catch up to these guys. So, for some reason, I'll put it up to Rich for now, for a little while, just to see what I could do. Because I didn't really want to finish down to 15th again, but it would have a detrimental effect on my engine. But as I say, I'll know better for next year. Alright, it's taken them slightly better, but I'm still not great. It's like going off wide there, slipping the back end out a bit. 6/10 up on the best time so far. So it's okay, but because the track dries out near the end, it's not going to mean much. So we come across the line, we have got 118, which is actually only good enough for 23rd, considering you get these times when the track dried out a bit. Almost getting onto slicks there by the end. But we got a nice dry track for qualifying. We need to finish 5th or above. Climb into the car, the second to last time this season. Racing across the line here. Slam into the brakes for first corner. Not perfect, but around the centre S. Not bad at all. Decent enough line. Now it's this long straight. A longish straight. Come across the line, we are 1/10 down on button, which isn't too bad. If we can keep that up, we should be able to get our 5th place. 31, 32. Keep it on track quite nicely. Ooh, slightly wide here. Cost me a few tenths just to do that bit. Good thing is we are keeping it on the track, not so bad as we were in practice. Onto this final corner, we are 4/10 down on button. It's looking a bit dicey whether we'll get our 5th place or not. We're 9/10 up on our own best time, so if we can get a good run here, the DRS Open, we might be okay. So what's the time? 1:09, 1:10. Third so far. That just got us into 5th there. 4/10 down on button.
That's 5th on the grid. Well done. Nice result.
But luckily we met our objectives. And Barrichello is down the field somewhere again. At least with no more get the camera out of my face sequences just yet. As we prepare for the race. So it's chucking it down again, not been a great weekend for the weather. And their expectations is for me to finish 2nd or above. Should be an interesting one. So wet tyres, of course. Set up for wet again.
All complete, we're ready.
Waggling his finger around, starting the engine. Right, as we line up on the grid, what we got here, Buttons on pole, Massa's in 4th, I'm in 5th, and Barrichello is 15th. Oh, wait, lights come on, here they come. It's going to be a really wet one. Let's go, we're off. Last race of the season, fuel mixture ups are rich again. Moving on the outside for this first corner, overtaking Webber and Massa, and coming through the gap in the centre S, we've taken the lead.
Race start is confirmed as wet, so we don't have to use both dry compounds.
And all my engineer wants to tell me is that we don't have to use both dry compounds. Thanks a lot. As I go straight off wide here, Alonso's going to get the lead back, or is he? No, not yet. No, he didn't. So we're still in first by a miracle. So we need to edge into this race. Got to be careful. We just come out of dry qualifying session, so I've got to find the limit of the car again. It's a good job I do have traction control, because that is a massive help. Not great for realism, but it's where my current performance skill level's at for now. But as we come to finish lap 1, we're in first, which is really nice. 1.1 seconds already to Alonso. So we're building up a gap. If we can just keep it on the track, we might be able to build up a gap, substantial gap. Because after my performance in Korea as well, I just kept streaming away from them. You can see the gap, and the second sector line will probably be slightly bigger going around these corners. All the rest of the field taking these corners very gingerly. I'm just taking that one slightly weird, a bit too, not turning in early enough. This little corner here. No DRS for the whole race, which is probably a big help for me, considering that some of them should really be up behind me. The gap has increased by 0.4 of a second. Button is a further 1.2 seconds behind Alonso. So switching the fuel mixture down to a standard, nearly slamming it into the wall.
Okay, DRS is now disabled due to wet weather tyres.
Trying to do that. But as you see, the top 6 sort of is it the top 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, at the top 5 at least. In their own little group, midfield in their own group. Barrichello's at the back of the midfield group, so he's not having a fantastic race at his home Grand Prix. And then you got the back markers at the back, obviously. It should be interesting to see what it's going to be like in the 2012 game, because as we've noticed in the first 3 Grand Prix of the 2012 season, the window, how should I put this, the window in terms of performance is pretty tight. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you looked at the qualifying times, a lot of the drivers, there's a huge chunk of drivers that are within 1/10 of a second, especially in China.
Ferrari are getting ready for a pit stop. Looks like it's going to be Alonso.
There was a huge chunk where it was just hundreds of seconds, thousands of seconds in between 3rd and 6th. I mean, that's just mental. Imagine what it's going to be like when you get into the game, and then if they replicate those sorts of times on here, that's going to be, you know, you could jump up places just by shaving a few thousandths of a second off. It should be interesting to see how they implementing that into the game. But hopefully they should improve things a bit more. I mean, 2010 was a start. It wasn't fantastic. I mean, you'd spin off in so many corners for no apparent reason. So this is 2011 is definitely the best game of the lot so far. But hopefully they can continue to improve that. And obviously what I'd want to see is a few more details, a few more adjustments.
The car behind's closing in.
I don't know about the bugs, I'm not really clued up on what they are exactly. I know there was a setup bug, but I think that was patched. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'd like to see some little details, a bit more details added. I'd like to one of the things along my long list of little details is that I'd like to see the numbers change on the car and have the garages move up and down the pit lane as they finish the previous season. Because technically, where I am in a minute, finishing 4th in the Constructors, that should mean I'd have, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should be like car 7 or 8, really. But no, I'm still gonna be the same number as where they finished in 2010. It is quite. It's not quite as immersive as it could be. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to code stuff into games and all that. But it would be nice if they just, you know, changed as the season progressed. Oh, taking out the DRS sign there. Yeah, it'd be nice to see my name on the side of the car instead of Maldonado's. I'm guessing the performance changes when, because these cars are leveled in tiers, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Judged based on their performance. I think they move up and down slightly, from what I've been told. But apart from that, I mean, it'd be nice to see some aesthetic changes to the car, such as the number, different, different number basically. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. Yeah, I mean, there's little details would help you. It would help things feel a little bit more real rather than it's like going into another season. You may have finished well in last season, but it's like you finished where you start. You start a new season where you started in the first season. It doesn't feel like anything's pretty much changed. Apart from the car, maybe a bit faster if you stick to the same team. But my engineer calls me into a pit. We're on lap 7 already. I don't know how that happened. I wasn't even paying that much of attention. I was just going off rambling about all this detail rubbish. But I set the fastest lap. As you might have been watching, the gap has increased to 7.2 seconds. I mean, that's quite a considerable gap. Alonso's fallen back. I don't quite know where he went. But Massa's taken his place. Oh, corner cut, and I go straight off here. Probably lack of concentration, but at least I've got enough of a gap. Yeah, Massa's in second, Hamilton in third. Best lap, 1:17.6. See, that's not much faster than I was doing in practice. But even so. Race conditions are a lot different to qualifying and practice. But as I've got to come in now, my tyres are absolutely fine. I could technically go on for another lap, but there's no need. Might as well get this over and done with. pull in here. Pretty clear run. No, none of the other pit crews have come out just yet.
Go now.
I'm so far ahead.
Watch out for traffic as you rejoin the track.
Just make sure I don't mess it up coming out of the pits. That's always fun. Riding the grass a little bit there. So we join back in P3.
You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after your tyres.
Just behind Button. Shouldn't be a problem to catch up to him. At the very least, the top two are going to go in the pits anyway, so I should retake the lead quite comfortably. Petrov is behind. Oh, going off wide here. Not. Yeah, losing concentration again. Trying to push it. I don't know why. I'm going wide there as well. Just want to make sure I do try and win this race, not get overtaken by Webber again.
You're lapping faster than the car ahead in sector 1. Use that advantage to get past.
Well, I don't need to use that advantage because he's probably going straight in.
Pace is good.
Pace is excellent. Oh, Button. Sliding around there.
There are quite a few cars in the pits right now. Watch out for cars exiting the pits.
Massa coming out? No. No, we're comfortably ahead of Massa. No one coming out the pits. I think Massa's only just come out the pit lane. So lap 9 of 14, a very comfortable lead. We just need to keep it on track, not crash, and then we should be on course for our victory. Number what is it now? Win number 3? Oh, my brain is frazzled. I shouldn't really be up this early in the morning, but yeah. Especially as I've got work tonight. But hey ho. This is what I like doing. So there we go. Not exactly the most exciting race to finish off the season, but it was a nice present to finish early. Ooh, okay, corner cutting. So 9.5 seconds to Massa. Quite comfortable. Don't even know why I'm using the curves. There's no point. I just wanted, maybe I just wanted to see if I could catch up to the back markers. We've still got 4 laps to go, so it's always it's worth a try, I guess. Don't really need to conserve anything. My tyres are wet tyres, so they're okay. As long as my engine don't blow up, I think we'll be absolutely fine. It would be nice if I could take these corners a bit better though, which hence what I was talking about in the earlier video, that I need to practice laps, do a hell of a lot of practice. So I must have clocked up a couple of hours just practicing Australia and Malaysia, just so I can prepare myself for those weekends. And so far it's paid off in Australia, so I'll keep going with that. The videos might come out a bit slower now I'm actually recording and uploading, but hopefully you'll appreciate the quality, improved quality of my driving. Oh, back end sliding out there, got to be a bit careful still. I still will have most of the same assists on, but I will be taking off ABS for the start of next season. Hopefully that will help me learn to start driving with the assist off. I mean, the main one is traction control. I think that's the only one I've left on. I mean, I'm still going to be on automatic gearbox, but auto gearbox and traction control will be the only ones on, I think. I think all the others are going to be set to off. I mean, most of them are off anyway. It's just ABS that I had on this season. So yeah, expect to see me locking up the brakes quite often next season. It should be interesting, because going into corners you have to be a bit more careful, because if you lock up you'll end up losing traction on the circuit. I believe that's the word. And if you lock up like that, you won't be able to get around the corner like you should. Should make for pretty entertaining racing. We're still sliding the back end out here. This is even with traction control on. Just shows how badly I would spin if I had it off. Still not quite well versed in wet weather driving, but we'll get by. We'll get by for now. Yeah, and to top off the end of the season, the battery controller one is low. It should last to the end of the race, no problem though. It's only 2 laps. Pace is up again, somehow. Can we make a 116? Oh, not quite. Not quite. Massa's only just coming across the line now, 8.6 seconds. Closed the gap slightly, probably because of my poor driving in the last couple of laps. A lot of sliding the back end out a little bit. But I'm catching up to the back markers now. The 6 drivers sitting at the back there. Barrichello is way down the order again, which is a shame. I think Barrichello's in like 16th, not entirely sure, but hello, here's our first back marker. Oh, here's the train of them. It's D'Ambrosio, the Belgian. Should be pretty easy to get past him. Yeah, you better not turn out on me. It's always a bit edgy when you go past back markers. Cucumber's got to be along here somewhere, surely. Having a little battle of their own. Who's that? It's Trulli. Damn, Trulli. You got overtaken by a cucumber. Yeah, okay. Well, we got past them okay at least. No incidents. Going off wide here though, not brilliant. 9 seconds to Massa. Hamilton and Massa having a mini battle. Let's hope they don't collide again. Coming up behind Kovalainen. I never really knew much about Kovalainen. Oh, thanks a lot, mate. Yeah. Jeez, I say I never knew much about him until this year. I didn't even know he drove for McLaren. I'd been away from Formula 1 for a couple of years in between now and the Schumacher years. To end up in a team this low down the field, he should probably think about his future really. But I come round here to win Brazilian Grand Prix. A fantastic end to the season. Fastest lap 117.628, gained 4 positions.
Awesome, truly awesome. What a win.
And indeed an awesome win from Love's Buds. Finished with a 12-second gap to Massa, my championship rival. Was in 2nd. Barrichello, yep, was in 17th actually. Mark Webber finished right down the order. Don't know what happened to Alonso there, but he was definitely out of the points. I didn't quite see it. But there we are, we finished the season on 214 points. Just 4 away from Button, we nearly had third. But Vettel is the world champion, 278 points, followed by Mark Webber, 227. Button, 218. Me, Alonso, 188. Hamilton, 186. Massa, 144. Schumacher, 92. Petrov, 87. Rosberg, 73. Heidfeld, 56. Perez, 55. Kobayashi, 39. Alguersuari, 22. De Resta, 18. Buemi, 13. Sutil 7 and Barrichello 2, and all the rest of these drivers, D'Ambrosio, Luizzi, Kovalainen, Trulli, Glock, Karti-Icon and whoever else was at the bottom there, all on 0 points. So in the Constructors, Williams have finished 4th with 216 points, 214 of those of my own doing, but a really strong result. Force India finished 9th, so I'm not really sure I'll be moving there next season. Still thinking about it. But let's celebrate our win. Finish 2nd or above, passed, and we done it. No problem. And Massa, congratulations from Massa. Fantastic end to the season, really good. Now David Croft wants an interview.
Now your team must be pleased with your finishing position this season. They probably didn't hope to do as well as they did, but you made it all happen. So what have you got to say?
Well, we just tried our best, you know, and it paid off.
How do you think your performance this weekend has measured up to the expectations of your team?
I think the team are very happy where we are.
Formula One grapevine that you've been talking to Stefano Domenicali about a possible move to Ferrari?
Well, we haven't had an offer, but we definitely consider it. So emails, I was looking for a contract offer, but it didn't turn up. So yeah, no drive for Ferrari next year. Yeah, I was kind of really hoping for one. But hey, I'm just looking around here. It's not quite goodbye just yet. Just checking. Yeah, contract required. So I'm going to have to make a decision. Force India or Williams. Now some of you may hate me or love me, but I do end up choosing one of the two. Which one do I choose? Force India? Williams? Williams? Force India? I mean, Williams finished quite high up in the Constructors, 4th, and Force India finished 9th. They didn't really have a good season. So, they're not going to be in a great position for next year. So, I'm wondering, if I stay at Williams, will the car be slightly better? And will I be able to improve? Anything that gives me a better result is good, of course. Just wonder if I joined Force India, would I have a better teammate? But in the end, I accept the offer from Williams. There we go, we've committed to it. So next season's going to be another Williams season. Some of you may like that decision, some of you may not, I don't know. But yeah, see you next time.